Welcome back to Spartan Nation Radio, everybody, here at our Okemos Ticket Machine Studios. I am your host, Hondo Carpenter. Thank you for joining us. Remember, you need tickets to any event, border to border, coast to coast. It's always theticketmachine.com, 888-887-4411, 517-655-3201, theticketmachine.com. Now, I am very excited to be joined here at our Okemos Ticket Machine Studios, and joined by one of my favorite guys, one of my favorite Spartans. I've known him for a long, long time. He's a guy that, especially now that he's done, I can talk about this. He is my friend. He is an honorable man. He's a good man. I'll tell you, the best compliment you can give a guy is if you say, I'd let him marry my daughter. And he's engaged to an absolutely beautiful, wonderful human being. So I don't in any way mean this as a slam on her. But he's that kind of guy. He's a guy of high integrity. He's great in the classroom. He isn't a guy out doing drugs, getting drunk every night. He's just a hard worker, great in the classroom, great human being. My buddy, Chris Frey Jr. Chris?
How you doing?
Good to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
What do you think of this place? Loaded up with all this memorabilia. This is kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I've never been in here before. I walked in the front door and saw the court out there. That's actually really awesome.
That's the Breslin court from when they won the national title. He bought the court.
You spent some money on that one.
That cost him, I'm not going to say how much, but it was a lot of jack.
Definitely.
And that's the floor of the building. Isn't that cool?
That's awesome.
Okay, you and I, and if I say anything that's not true, I want you to correct me. But we have become friends over the last 6 years, genuine friends. I told you, remember, a long time ago, I'm going to be friends when you're done with Michigan State. And so I've had a front row seat to a career of a guy I like, but also a guy who is my friend, who I respect, who I admire. Are you surprised it's over? Doesn't it seem like just yesterday we were talking to you as a junior in high school?
Man, it flies by. It is crazy. And it's actually really funny because you see all these, fans from other teams who, aren't fans of Michigan State. They say all the time, well, that guy's been there forever. To me, that just means to me, well, that guy's done things since the first time he stepped on the field. That guy's been there forever. He's been making plays for a long time. And for me, it feels like it was yesterday. I don't feel like I've been here forever. The time that I spent at Michigan State flew by, and it's tough. You got to enjoy every second of it, and you got to slow it down in your mind because, when you get towards the end of your senior year, it's like, man, I got 2 weeks left. I got to, do some things that I, wasn't able to do in the past 3 years, or spend some more time with this person, or do this. So. It definitely flew by, and it was a fun ride, and I enjoyed every second of it, but I'm going to miss it.
Do you know one of my funniest stories, and I have not been able to say it, but now that you have no eligibility left, I can tell you. One of my favorite stories about you, I think you called me. Yeah, you called me, and I was out to dinner with Pat Narduzzi. Do you remember that time?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, just a minute. I got to get up. And I had to leave the room because I'm at dinner with Pat Narduzzi, and I didn't want there to ever be a discrepancy. But for you, it was, you got the Michigan State offer, and you just knew, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. After I had visited here a few times, I committed really early in my recruiting process, and kind of got the offer and waited a week and a half, and I kind of just sat there and thought to myself one day, I fell in love with this place the first time I came here. Notre Dame game, I think I was maybe a freshman or sophomore in high school, and from that point on, I knew this was a place that I wanted to be in. My dad would always talk to me about Michigan State. Coach Tress and Coach Dews and Coach D all sat down with me when I was here on a visit and told me, we really like the way that you play, your love for the game, everything about you. We just need you to put some weight on. You're not the size of a Big Ten linebacker right now. And after that, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to stop playing other sports and really focus on my dream. My dream had always been playing college football and playing in the NFL, playing in the Big Ten. And, when I had that conversation with Coach D and Coach Dews and Coach Tress, I knew that was a place I wanted to be. And, I had been here for a few more visits, and I just loved the place. I couldn't go anywhere else without, thinking about Michigan State and, what they had to offer football-wise and, academically, the campus. This was just a place that felt like home for me.
Now that your eligibility is done, I know your answers aren't going to change. But for fans who wonder, I want to ask this question. I've shared this story publicly with people, but you and I have never discussed it on air like this. After the 3-9 season, you took that so personal. I remember you saying, I can't believe we're going to leave this place in better shape. I can't believe we let that happen to Coach D'Antonio. You were, and I was your friend, so I got to see more than the side the media got to see. That season hurt you, not because you're Chris Frey. It hurt you because it hurt D'Antonio, didn't it?
Absolutely. And not only Coach D, but our entire coaching staff and our entire team, especially that senior class. I had so many friends in that senior class that I had grown really close with over the years, and to have them go out of Michigan State without putting a banner on in our indoor facility and with a losing record, it left a pit in my stomach. And I wasn't going to let that happen again, especially to guys that I came in with, guys that I had grown really close with over the years, like the guys that left. And I didn't want this senior class with me to go out the same way that senior class did. And I was going to do anything and everything in my power to bring this team closer and put the 2016 season behind us and focus on the future, 2017 and the comeback. And that's what we did, and in the end it paid off. We flipped the script and added one.
All right, I have never asked you about this, even privately, but I'm going to ask you now. Fair enough? When the last snap of the ball was over for that 2016 season, that 3-9 season, I am told in the locker room after the game, you sent a message to the team. This is behind us. You weren't even a captain yet. What did you say? I never asked you because I knew it was private, but it's not private anymore. Can you tell us what? Because I heard from no less than 15, 20 of your teammates. Offense, defense, black, white, didn't matter. I heard people say, wow, that speech by Chris ended that season. What did you say?
Yeah, before every game, I kind of just walk around to every position group and give everybody a high five, tell them let's go, it's time to roll, give them a hug, let's go, it's game time. After that game, it didn't matter if we were 3-9. Every game for us was a reset. Let's win a game. Let's not worry about the week before. Let's go into this game and win the game. And after that game, we played really well in the first half, and in the second half we kind of fell apart, and they picked their game up and kind of just blew us out of the water. And after that game, got back to the locker room. Coach D did his thing, talked for a second, and I kind of just relayed his message to everybody else. I walked around just like I do before every single game to every single person that I could get to and said, the season's over. There's nothing we can do about it. Let's put it behind us. They're going to ask questions. Every answer should be, it's in the past. We're going to figure our stuff out. We're going to find leaders on this team, and we're going to flip the script. This is not who we are as a team. This is not the coach that Coach D is. We didn't come and play in this program to go 3-9. And I can tell you that everybody that's in that program that year, never in a million years would have thought that in the 4 or 5 years that we were there, we would go 3-9, or have a losing record in general. And to have that happen to us really just lit a fire under us for that next season. And Coach D is always going to be a great leader, and he was the leader of that push to put it behind us. And I kind of just tried to relay his message every single day and every workout that we had, that there's nothing we can do about it. The past is the past. We got to focus on what we can control, and we can control what we do next season. We lost a lot of great players, a lot of great teammates, and we can't control that. We have a young team, a lot of guys that barely played last year, a lot of guys that have never played before, and we need to go into winter conditioning and spring ball and figure out what we need to figure out to do better next year, and we did that.
To me, my highlight of last year, and maybe I'm completely wrong, and if I am, I want you to say you're wrong. To me, the highlight of last year was not the 10 wins. It was the way this team came together. Every position group, every area of the team, they just gelled. It doesn't, on a team of 105 guys, not everybody's going to like each other. Not everybody's going to be best friends. But they all came together. And on that field, it was kind of like, okay, I may not like him, but you mess with him, I'm going to kick your ass. I've never seen a group come together. Did I miss it, Chris?
No. But I think the 10 wins is the reason for all of that stuff.
Okay.
No, the 10 wins wasn't the highlight, but I think it's part of that. Because without all of the things that we did off the field to become a better team, 10 wins is not possible.
That's why I'm saying I thought the team coming together was bigger than the 10 wins, because had they not come together, and I don't think I'm saying anything out of sorts, the 16 team was not together. And when you have the way they came together in 17, you saw the 10 wins. D'Antonio always says chemistry is the reason we win here. That team that went 3-9 did not have the talent of a 3-9 team. They had a talent of a 12-win team, in my opinion. Last year's team with all the youth may not have been a 10-win team talent-wise because of experience, but they had 10-win talent chemistry. And do you see where I'm going with that?
Absolutely, yeah. I think, like I said though earlier, like from day one after the Penn State game in 2016, we had what we called Hell Week a week later. And from that point on, I felt like it was just a different mindset, a different feeling, and we came together like that. I mean, it was so fast that, that our team started to gel, started to come together. And like you said, not everybody's going to get along. Not everybody's perfect. Everybody's going to make mistakes. It happens. People are going to be late to things. People are going to miss things. We paid for that every single day, which brought us closer. You were late. You missed something. That's up downs. You have to run extra for that. And in the end, that wasn't happening. We were having 1 or 2 a week instead of 10. And that helped us come together as a team. We started leaning on each other. We started helping each other get places on time, doing things on time because we didn't want to pay, which in the end made us closer as a team.
I heard a preacher once say there are no atheists in a foxhole when the bombs are dropping. and the point of the matter is, when you're in a team and everybody's paying, nobody cares if the guys next to him is an offensive player, defensive player, from a wealthy family, a poor family, black, white, tall, short, thin, fat. It's just, that's my brother. Mm-hmm. And I got to make it, don't you?
Yep.
Awesome. Now listen, when we come back with Chris, we got so much more. Chris is going to be giving away some cleats, game-worn cleats, gloves. We're going to learn about that. We got to talk about the NFL draft. We're going to look ahead to next year's team, and we got so much more. You don't want to go anywhere from our Okemos Ticket Machine studios. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody, to Spartan Nation Radio. I'm your host, Hondo Carpenter, here at our Okemos Ticket Machine studios. Remember, you need tickets to any event, border to border, coast to coast. It's always theticketmachine.com, theticketmachine.com, 888-887-4411, 517-655-3201, theticketmachine.com. Joined by the great Spartan captain, one of the best guys to ever wear the green and white, the great Chris Frey Jr. Chris, again, thanks for being with us.
Absolutely.
Before we can look ahead to next year's team, I've got to say this to you real quick. You are so blessed. Your dad, Chris Sr., your mom, Bria, I love your mom and dad. I'm friends with your mom and dad. I love your family, your brothers and sister, awesome people. I love Montana, your fiance. I mean, you're one of my favorite guys, but you're, again, a product of an amazing family. Agree or disagree?
I agree with that for sure.
Your dad, I don't know why your mom sees in your dad. Because your mom is beautiful. Her smile can light up a room.
Yeah, I don't see what Montana sees in me either.
Right. Well, that's where I was going next. I don't know what your mom sees in your dad, and I don't know what the hell Montana sees in you. Because she's a lot like your mom. I really believe that. I think the reason you fell so hard for Montana early, she's a lot like your mom.
That's what they say.
You don't agree with that?
Oh, I agree with it. They are very similar in certain ways.
Well, and I think you and your dad are both good guys. I'd just like to give you hell. Let's look ahead to next year's team. Now that you're not there, I can ask you about specific players. I had so many of you guys last year telling me, dude, Anton Simmons is the real deal. This guy is the real deal. I'll never forget one of your offensive players said to me, and I'll tell you who off air, he said, I'm glad I'm not a defensive player because that guy's going to take somebody's job. He's missing spring. I don't think that's a big deal. I think he'll be back full go in the fall. I think he starts next year, and I think he's a star. Where am I wrong on Antoine Simmons?
I don't think you're wrong at all. I saw it from day one, not even in pads. We had our summer conditioning, and after our summer conditioning, we'd do 7-on-7 and stuff, and I saw it from day one just like that. He, figured out our defense really quick, was picking up on the basics, and I just noticed it right away. And he was talking out there, trying to figure out stuff on the field, talking with the safeties, talking with the middle linebacker, and like I said, I could just see it from day one. And then camp rolled around, and this dude was hitting things. He was doing everything he can to get the attention from the coaches, and he got it right away from me. I knew right away that he was a guy that had an opportunity to play this year, an opportunity to make an impact on this team, and he definitely did.
One of the things that I love about Antoine is he's a great player, but he's a great person. Great. You're never going to see this guy's on a police blotter. He is just integrity. He's character. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to be stunned if he's not a captain one day of MSU football. Am I overstating him?
Oh, no. I would be stunned, too. Just go like going back. No, I think he was the leader of the freshman class. And, when guys needed something, they went to him. And I think that speaks volumes, because when you're a freshman, to have guys come to you and ask questions or want to watch film with you, try and figure things out, like I said, it speaks volumes of that person's character and what people think of him. And I definitely agree with you there. I think one day he's going to be a captain, and he's going to be a big player on this team, one of the best linebackers in the past few years that we've had.
I made him my prediction for captains next year. I predict Lewerke, Bocce, Kari Willis. Do you disagree, or is there anybody?
Nope, not at all. Those are the three guys that at the end of last season I said we're going to be captains. Joe Bocce, the leader of our defense last year, vocal guy. Everybody looks up to him from day one when he got here, and he took over last year. And I think he was a captain for 2, maybe 3 games last year. I don't see anybody taking his spot. He's definitely going to be a captain this year, in my opinion. And Brian Lewerke is the leader of our offense. A great guy on and off the field, a guy that a lot of people, everybody wants to spend time with, just because he's a great person. And Kari Willis is a guy that I've actually gotten really close to. Kari is a very good friend of mine and a great leader. There's nothing I can say bad about Kari. He's just a all-around good person, very, very, very smart football player. Dude watches film all the time and studies the game, loves to play it, and a fun guy to play with and be around.
I'm going to tell you my favorite Kari Willis story, and you tell me if this meshes with what you believe. Is after a game one time, I asked him about a particular play, and it took him 10 minutes to break the play down. I mean, he thinks like a coach. I'm going to be stunned if he doesn't end up coaching with his mind. Do you see that in him?
I can see that, yeah. When I always go to him because he's normally on my side during the season. So, I always go to him on Mondays during the week and say, hey, if we get this split, what's it going to be? What's the call from the safety going to be? That way, during the game, if I see this, I don't have to turn around and ask him, what's the coverage here? And he would break it down by the inch. If they're this close, we got to make this call. Or if they're this far away, we got to make this call. And I'm like, Kari, just tell me, dude, is it ace if we're getting this? If it's squeeze, we're getting this? If it's this? Not by the inch, dude. Just let me know. Right. And that's just the kind of person that he is, the kind of detail that he gives this game because he loves it.
One of my favorite Spartans of all time, I love this guy, Raekwon Williams. I love Raekwon. I love his character. I love him as a guy. If there's something about Raekwon not to like, I don't know it. What am I missing on him?
I don't know, man. Raekwon, from the minute he got to Michigan State, you couldn't carry on his conversation with the guy. He was so quiet. He didn't really, just kept to himself, and he's a hard worker. And he kind of, like I said, he just kind of always kept to himself, and he just wanted to learn. He'd sit in the back and he'd be real quiet, but you could tell he was paying attention all the time. He wanted every little detail to be perfect. And as the years have gone on, and last year he was a vocal leader, a guy that would stand up and actually talk to the team, get into people, rip into people if he needed to, just to because he loves this game, just like everybody else that I've talked about. And there's nothing not to like about this guy. He comes to work every single day. he works hard in everything that he does, and he's going to be a very good player for us next year, and I'm excited to see what him and our defensive line can do.
Mike Panasiuk, I've told people he is a bigger, because he's a lineman, Chris Frey. Am I wrong?
No, not really.
Maybe not as vocal, but he's you. Same passion for the game. He loves the game. He loves you. Oh my God. I think he's the president of the Chris Frey fan club. But what am I missing on Panasiuk?
The Polish hammer. We actually gave out an award last year for the guy who can create the most destruction on the interior line. So basically, you push your guy on their side of the line and calls the running back to hit a different gap than he was. I think he won it like 7 or 8 times last year. And that's just, in his mind, it's just all about domination. He's got to do everything he can to dominate the guy across from him. And it's just like everybody else. He studies film, does everything he needs to do on and off the field, and on game day, that's why he makes plays. He's always doing the right thing. He focuses on the little things, and on Saturdays it shows.
You and I are friends, and so if you disagree, I don't want you to agree with me just because we're on air. I think I have a little bit different relationship with the players than most of the media. Is that fair?
I would agree with that, yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with asking, because I've done it of you, Chris, what happened here on a bad play? But I think there's something wrong when it's automatically adversarial. I don't think it has to be that way. Are you concerned about how media in general is changing? Because, you can go to Chris and say, hey, Chris, I want to ask you about this play. But we don't need to be talking about 2016. We're already into 2018. Where am I wrong? Help me understand. If you think I'm wrong, maybe I am. Maybe you think...
I don't think you're wrong at all. But I do think that, sometimes some media sources definitely think they know our defense better than we do, or our offense better than the players or the coaches. And, you see every once in a while, you'll see, Chris Frey messed up on this play.
No, you didn't. I know exactly.
Do you know our defense? Do you know the structure?
Right.
No. Do you know what's going on in our locker room? Is so-and-so doing this or so-and-so doing that? No, you have no idea what you're talking about. And first thing that pops into my mind is Riley Bola. You see so many media sources blame 2016 on Riley. Come on.
Isn't that the dumbest thing?
Really? Because Riley Bola is one of the best people I've ever been around. He's at my apartment right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can sit there and blame him, but not one single person on our team from 2016 will put anything on him. Because he was hurt for half the season, and when he was in the game, he was making plays, talking to everybody, making our defense run, because that's the kind of person he is. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, Riley Bola is a Trump supporter, and Riley Bola did this.
I know.
Come on. Come on now. Riley was the leader of our team. Even when he was hurt, he was the guy on the sideline talking to everybody, trying to help guys if they messed up on a play. Oh, you did this, you have to do that.
Yep.
He was the reason, really? Right. Come on now.
I've said this, and I don't want you to confirm it because I don't want to cause you any trouble. There were some guys on that team he couldn't lead. And you can't, if a coach can't lead a player, you can't blame a captain for not leading a player. Is that at least fair?
That's 100% fair.
We're not naming any names.
No.
We're just telling the truth.
Agreed.
And I can't tell you how many players are like, Hondo, thank you for not writing this. I'm like, well, I'm not going to write it. It's not true. Riley wasn't the problem in the least bit.
Yeah.
But you can go on a message board and say anything, but all right, that's another story for another day. Well, I agree. And I'm going to tell you, there's nothing wrong with tough questions. But there is when you almost come at things adversarial. Again, I remember a game last year where the whole alleged narrative was Frey made a mistake. And I'm like, no, he didn't. It wasn't a mistake. And I know because I went to a coach that said, yeah, that wasn't Chris's fault.
But here's the thing is you get put into a situation like that.
And then if you defend yourself, it looks like you're throwing someone else under the bus.
Yeah. So here's the thing: like you get put into a situation like that where Chris Frey didn't hit this gap where he was supposed to. Blah blah. They ask you the question, and like for me, I'm never throwing one of my teammates under the bus. Yeah, that was my fault. I'm gonna take the blame. But then when we get to film and Coach Trustle's like, "All right, Chris, you did a good job here. So and so's got to do this." That doesn't bother me one bit. I'll take the blame 100%. Like I have no problem with that. I was the captain of the team. You want to blame me for a play? I'll take the blame.
I remember a play. I'm not going to say what it was. I'll tell you off air. where a Michigan State player made a big mistake and cost Michigan State a game. D'Antonio walks out of the press conference. I told him to do it. It's my fault. None of my coaches knew that I told him to do it. I take the blame. And man, the media is going all over D'Antonio. And I literally remember the player saying to me, "Why did he do that? He didn't tell me. He doesn't lie. What is he doing?" I said, "He's covering you." I mean, sometimes I tell people, just use your common sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We got a lot more. We're at the ticket machine. When we come back, we're going to talk, Chris, some tough questions. What are NFL teams asking about him? And a lot more. We're also going to tell you he's going to be giving away game-worn gloves, game-worn cleats, and a lot more. We'll tell you how when we come back on the Spartan Nation Radio Network. Welcome back, Spartan Nation Radio, here at our Okemos Ticket Machine studios. Remember, you need tickets to any event, border to border, coast to coast. It's theticketmachine.com. 888-887-4411, 517-655-3201. Any Major League Baseball team, any National Hockey League team, whatever the event is, you need tickets. Get them now. Listen, Spartan football is going to be top 5 next year. Top 5. They're going to be good. They're going to be in the hunt from day one. Get your tickets today. TheTicketMachine.com, joined by the great Chris Frey, Spartan captain. Great player on his way to the NFL. Chris, again, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to turn our attention to the NFL now. And one question NFL teams love to ask, and I'm going to ask you, is what are your 3 biggest strengths? What are your 3 biggest weaknesses? Because everybody's got them, strengths and weaknesses. So what's yours?
Oh, I think, first of all, if I start with my strengths, one of my biggest strengths is just, my passion and enthusiasm, my love for this game. If you've been to a game, if you've seen me during, before, after a game, my love and passion for this game is just something that you don't see very often, in my opinion. From a young age, I grew to love this game, and I still have that same passion and enthusiasm for it every single day. And then from there, I'd say my football IQ. I've always loved studying the game with my dad for as long as I can remember, and I off the field, I watch a lot of film, watch a lot of games that aren't ours, just to see what other players are doing, how they can do certain things in certain positions, and I definitely would say my football IQ and just recognizing things. And then to go along with that, I think 3 is just play recognition. When I'm on the field, I feel like I'm able to recognize plays really well.
Before we get into your weaknesses, I want to talk about that. There was a play at Northwestern, their last touchdown in overtime, and that's a play where you took a ton of grief from people. And I tried to explain to them, if you knew the defense, that wasn't on Chris. I'm not throwing any of your teammates under the bus. Walk us through that play. It's overtime. What happened?
Yeah, so Northwestern comes out. I believe they were aligned in whip formation, which is two wide receivers out to the field with a wing, the tight end off the ball in the box, and another guy on the other side of the ball spread out. And they motioned across from whip to ace, and the entire game they had been motioning from whip to ollie, which is just keeping him in the box on the other side, and ace is spreading him out. And they had motioned to ace and kind of caught us off guard. And in my knowledge, I just took the guy. And normally in a situation where a team comes out and they go ace, we go special, and run a kind of a different cover one. And in that split second, I just decided to take the guy. And I didn't think there was enough time to get the special call on. And they came out and they ran what looked to me as to be a screen route where the number 2 receiver is going out to block the corner and the number 1 receiver is wrapping around. And what they actually did was run a screen go. And the number 2 receiver faked the block and ran a wheel route. And when I saw the screen, I kind of fell back to help on the inside because I thought that the corner was getting picked, and just kind of blew my coverage. And for me, I had played a pretty decent game, and that ruined it for me. One play made that game.
I was standing 7 yards from you when that play happened. And your face. Now, I'm your friend, so you're just not a guy I covered. I wanted to come up and hug you. I have never seen you as angry as that moment.
Yeah, I was just really mad at myself. I felt like I left my teammates down. That was probably one of the toughest moments for me of all season. I felt like I let my coaches down, left my teammates down. A play that I have the ability to make, a play that we've seen before that I should have easily recognized and I didn't. And for me, as my strengths being a guy that can recognize plays, that just killed me.
Let's talk about weaknesses. What do you think that you got to get better at? Because everybody does. Tom Brady's got a list of things he's got to get better at.
Yeah, definitely I think, in the box when I'm filling holes, I definitely got to work on my base. It's something that Coach Tressel always talked to me about when I engage with an offensive lineman, keeping my base. And then number 2, my hands in the box when I'm, trying to get off of offensive linemen. We always talk about same leg, same shoulder. Get your if I'm hitting with my left shoulder, get your left foot in the ground and get a base. And that's something you got to practice. It's tough. You don't think about it like you're running in the box, same foot, same shoulder, like same leg, same shoulder. That's not something we talk about it in tackling too, because if you get right leg, left shoulder, you're going to get twisted. You can miss the tackle. It's a lot easier. And so base and then throwing hands, like shock when you come in the box when you get an offensive lineman, because me being 230 pounds and an offensive lineman being 300 to 330 pounds, that's a big difference. Mm-hmm. And I got to use my hands, shoot my hands before he does. And so that would be number 2. Man, number 3.
You know what? Can I tell you what I think number 3 is?
Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you what number 3 is. And I don't think it's what you got to get better at. I think it's going to get better in the NFL automatically. You have low tolerance for guys that don't give 100%. Is that fair?
I would agree with that. Yeah.
And in the NFL, I think guys that get to the NFL are guys who are high producers.
Yeah.
But I think, when I talk to your teammates, everybody loves you. The only people you don't hear good things about Chris Frey from are people who aren't 100%ers. If you're not all in, they're not going to like you.
Yeah, and I think that's one of my strengths too. I can add to that is I feel like I'm a great leader.
Yep.
I was a captain on the team last year, and that doesn't define me. Like, I'm a captain on the field, but I try and be a captain off the field. I try to include everybody in everything that I do.
Well, you were a captain last year because, quite frankly, you emerged in 16. Listen, you tell everybody, I know we're on the radio, don't you lie. In 16, you asserted yourself, especially towards the end of the year when Riley was just beat to hell. You took a leadership position whether you had the title or not.
Yeah, I tried to be the leader of our defense. I was making a few plays, and I felt like I could be a leader on this team while Riley was out. And I took it upon myself to try and get the attention of the other guys to try and, I wouldn't say like work like me, but I'm a guy that's 100%, like you said, every single play. Like if I'm dead tired, I'm going to pull myself off the field for a play and go back in so that I can give 100% on the next play.
I'm going to tell you something, and I want you to tell me if you ever heard it. We're not going to name the player, okay? But I was told there was a player who once told a member of the coaching staff, "You scared him." Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I actually got yelled at for it.
You did?
Yeah. So we had been losing games in 2016, not doing well, and being me, I always wear my Fang mouthpiece and my eye black. And if you watch, you see Illinois, 2016. I didn't wear a mouthpiece and I wore no eye black because, not going to name the coach, before the game, he came over to me and he was like, we're not doing well. We're losing games, blah, blah. You're scaring the freshmen. No more mouthpiece and no eye black.
But in case anyone's wondering, it was not D'Antonio.
No.
Okay.
And at the time, I'm like, I'm making plays. Like, I'm not doing anything to hurt the team. I'm being me. Like, this is who I am.
But that's why the 16 team struggled, because of that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
I'm scared of my teammates.
No, I mean... But, like, even my mindset there was like, I feel like looking back now, like, that was kind of detrimental to the team. Like, that's selfish of me to be like, well, I mean, I'm doing things. I mean, I'm helping the team, but, they're going to punish me for scaring the freshmen. I mean, that for me was detrimental to the team. And I have heard that, but the player that they accused of being scared, I actually asked him, like, dude, what? He was like, I have no idea what they're talking about. I'm not afraid of you.
No, and I didn't think he was, but I heard about this.
Yeah.
And I heard about it from one of your teammates.
Yeah.
That's how I heard the story. Now, see,
and I actually thought it was really funny. I was like, come on. Like, I literally see you every day. I'm not like this 99% of the time, but for 4 hours on a Saturday, that's just who I am. It's always who I have been. And it's so hard for me to change that. Like, they kind of came to me like, hey, you're yelling before the game and you're doing this and you got to stop because you're scaring people. And I'm like, the couple weeks after that, I'm like itching before the game because I literally couldn't open my mouth without thinking I was scaring somebody.
So what made you decide I'm just opening it again? Did you get the green light?
No, I waited till the next season. I wasn't going to bother it. We weren't playing well. We weren't winning games. And I'm going to tell you know what? I'm not going to worry about it.
I heard about it from your teammates because they missed it.
Yeah.
In 16. Anyways, isn't that funny, the things I hear?
Yeah.
The things
it's crazy.
And I never said anything. I waited till you were done to tell you.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to you. All right. So, I don't understand where some of these draft profiles come up before workouts, but there were some people that said you were in the 4.7s, a 4.8. I even read one that said you were a 4.8. I heard there were others that even had you higher than a 4.8 in the 40. I didn't see those. Did you hear about those?
Yeah. When I was down in Miami, I went down and, the first day I'm down there training with Pete Bomarito, which is the training facility I was at. He kind of looked at me and he was like, you don't really have the frame to be fast. Like, everybody I've heard from says you're running a 4, nothing lower than a 4.8. I kind of looked at him like, dude, you're crazy. Like, 4.8, I can do that in my sleep. Like, I don't think I've ever run lower than a 4 or higher than a 4.8. And then, we start running more, and he calls my agent, and my agent calls me like, Pete thought you were going to run like a 4.9 or a 4.8, and he thinks you're a lot faster than what you are. And I was like, I tried to tell him, like, I don't understand, like, where this is coming from. I don't know what I have. Obviously, I know what I have to do to change that, but
well, let me tell you
that come from.
I told you this at Pro Day. You tell the people if I'm lying. I had a scout after you ran your 40 turn to me and say, 4.63, he just made some money. Did I not come tell you that?
Yeah, you told me that.
And then later on, did you hear from people you were in the 4.63, 4.64 range?
Yeah, so actually, like right after I had run back, I ran my 40, my first one, I was walking back, and a lot of my teammates were sitting there and like timing us, and all of them I was walking past and like, damn, Frey, you were moving. And then a couple guys were like, we had you like low 4.6, we had low 4.6, and obviously that's not 100% accurate, but when I was down in Miami, I did run I think a 4.64 laser time, so I felt good. I felt really good.
What did he say? What did your trainer say after he saw that?
He called my agent like the week before Pro Day and was like, I had a guy that was down here that ran slower than Chris run a 4.68. I have Chris like a low 4.6. Like I know he's going to run a low 4.6, and so he really wasn't surprised, but he enjoyed it because if you go down to Pete Bomarito, you're not going down there to bench 47 times. You're going down there to run a fast 40. That's just he is. When it comes to speed, he knows what he's doing, and so I owe him.
He made
literally everything because
he made you some money.
Without that, other than that, I had for me personally, I felt like I had a pretty average pro day. Other than that, and so I owe him a lot for that.
All right, I want to dig in this real quick. In fact, let's just cut a quick commercial break. When we come back, more with Chris Frey from here at the Ticket Machine. Welcome back, Spartan Nation Radio, here at our Okemos Ticket Machine studios. Great, are you having fun tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Joined by Chris Frey, the great Michigan State captain, great buddy of mine, here at our Okemos Ticket Machine studios. Remember, you need tickets, any event, border, coast to coast. It's theticketmachine.com, 888-887-4411, 517-655-3201, theticketmachine.com. So, now, NFL. I know a lot of teams are very interested in you. What is your mindset going into the NFL? What are your expectations? What are you thinking? What is on Chris Frey's mind?
The thing that I think of constantly, and I heard Saquon Barkley said it the other day, and I always think this, and I have so much respect for Saquon and who he is as a person and a player. And he was on ESPN, and he said, every team that comes to me, they ask me what I'll do for them, and I can't guarantee them this many rushing yards or this many touchdowns, and for me, I can't guarantee you that I'm going to have this many tackles or an interception here, and but I can guarantee you that I'm going to come in every single day and give everything I have, and that's my mindset every single day. I might not be the most athletic guy on the team, and growing up, I might have been the most athletic guy on the basketball team or on the football team, but you get to college and you're surrounded by the best player on every high school team that they played on, and you're surrounded by athletes, and so I might not be the best athlete on the field, but I'm not going to rely on my athleticism to help me, do what I do. And for this game, I'm going to outwork the guys that rely on their athleticism. I'm going to outwork the guys that, just skim by and they just do the bare minimum. I'm going to come in extra. I'm going to do everything I can to have the opportunity to get on the field. I want to earn every second that I get on the field. I'm going to come into camp not with the mindset that, I'm going to earn a spot as a linebacker. I want to earn a spot any way that I possibly can. And if it's running down on kickoff or being a wing on field goal, I'm going to do it. And that was the mindset I really had coming into Michigan State, too. I come in during spring ball and we're down a couple of guys, and they're like, Chris, go in there, run down on kickoff. I run down on the first kickoff, and Trevin Pendleton absolutely destroyed me. Knocked the wind out of me. They're like, we don't have a guy for an L2. Chris Frey, come back over here. I ran down 5 times in a row. And I kind of think, at that point, that kind of separated me from a few people. This guy's a freshman, but he's out here busting his tail to earn a spot. And right before the season, I didn't know if I was going to play. I was in the 1s and the 2s on almost every special team, and I told my parents, I don't know if I'm going to play this year. I might redshirt. I have no idea. I have a lot of great linebackers that I respect in front of me. A lot of guys that, at this point, know more than I do on the defense, but I'm going to still study the game. I'm going to still pay attention to our defense and, learn everything that I possibly can. And I was like, if I play in the first game, I play. But don't worry about getting tickets to Oregon, because that's a couple $1,000s for tickets, plane tickets to go out there. And I just remember thinking we played on a Friday night against Jacksonville State, and on that Thursday night they put up the depth chart, and I did it. I earned this spot on kickoff. I earned this spot on punt. I earned this spot on punt return. That for me was more satisfying than just having a spot given to me, because I had earned that. I had done everything I could to get that spot. And for me, leading up to that week, I wanted to play so bad, but I think the highlight for me was just I'm running out of the tunnel my first time against Jacksonville State on a Friday night in front of 80,000 people,
and I'm playing.
But I didn't know that yet. I'm talking about early in the week.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
We get to Thursday night and they put that up, and I'm like, all right, the highlight of my week is going to be that opening kickoff. I'm going to go down and I'm going to make this tackle. And I don't remember if I had made that tackle or not. I couldn't tell you, but to be able to run down on kickoff and to earn that spot, to be able to play. I think I only played I played every rep of every special team except for field goal in that game, but I think I got 10 reps on defense. But I think actually playing on the special teams was more important to me than getting in on defense, just because I had worked so hard running down on kickoffs and rushing punts and working on my footwork for our punt, that to be able to run down on kickoff and run out on punt, hold somebody up on punt return just meant so much to me because of the work and everything that I had put into those three plays that at Michigan State we talk about all the time.
Max Bullis said to me,
yeah,
the biggest honor at Michigan State is not being a captain or a starter. It's when they trust you to play special teams.
Yeah.
Is that true to you?
Yeah. Coach Tressel says it every single day, that punt is the most important play in football. And they have to trust you to be able to put you on punt, because that is a serious position. I mean, that could win and lose you a game. They say, I think it's 88% of games that have a blocked punt, the team that blocks the punt wins the game.
All right.
Michigan
Yeah.
2015.
Yeah, yeah, you had to mention that. All right, very quickly, 2 more questions and we're going to be done. People have a chance to win game-worn cleats and game-worn gloves from you. How do they do it?
Yeah, so, the past few weeks I've really been trying to figure out a way to earn money for a few charities that I hold really close and dear to my heart. Like, things that really mean a lot to me. And I finally decided, this was tough for me because I don't really want to get rid of any of my Michigan State stuff. Like, that was tough for me. And so I came up with this idea that I'm going to auction off the cleats. And so we set up a website that you can donate money.
What's the website?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Right,
I have
let me just say this. Go to SpartanNation.com. We've got it up right now. We got it up right now on the website. Look for Chris and I's picture. Click on it, and you can go do it. Okay, so I got that.
So every $10 is a donation. Every $10 donation earns you 1 ticket. So you $20 is 2 tickets, 2 entries, and so it's going to run for a week. If you donate $50, you get 2. You double your entries. So 5 entries, you get 10. The first 3 people to donate $50 are guaranteed a signed pair of gloves and 10 entries to the.
So for $50, you can get a signed pair of gloves as long as you're one of the first 3.
Yep, first 3 people to donate $50, guaranteed signed pair of gloves.
Now I'll buy the first pair if you can get me those pink ones.
All right.
No, I'm serious.
All right.
I'll buy the first pair. You try to find do you have the pink ones?
I'll have to go look.
Okay, you find them. I'm buying the first pair if you're selling those.
All right. Yeah, I can do that if I find a pair.
Okay, so count me in. I'm buying the first 50, and if I win the cleats, I'm going to give them away here on the show.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you the 50 for the pink ones, and and if I win the cleats, I'm going to give them away on the show.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, so go to SpartanNation.com right now, or go to my Twitter. You'll see the link to Chris's How to Win signed game-used gloves and cleats, and it's celebrating. The money being raised is going for Special Olympics.
Yeah, so we're going to do this, I think, for 3, maybe 4 weeks. You can you can donate money every week. I have 4 pairs of cleats to donate, and every week the first 3 people to donate $50 earn a pair of signed gloves. And so the first week of Special Olympics, it's something I've been working with for a very long time. I started this, I believe, when I was a freshman or sophomore in high school. You enter a room in the worst mood of your life with these kids, and they will change your entire day around. Mm-hmm. And so this first week, I'm donating every penny that I get back to the Upper Arlington Special Olympics. Upper Arlington has an absolutely amazing Special Olympics program. And we have so many special needs kids in the system at Upper Arlington because it's such a good program that they're actually adding a 3rd team for every sport.
That's awesome. I've got family heavily involved, and I have a cousin who's an amazing Special Olympian. As much as I love covering your games, and I was at every game of your career, you go to one Special Olympics meet, and it's, no offense, it's 100 times better than
it's pure joy.
game.
It's pure joy. These kids, anything that they do is it lights your day up. But like I was saying, the money that I make will be donated to the Upper Arlington Special Olympics in my hometown, Upper Arlington, and it'll go towards jerseys for the 3rd team that they're adding. And so the money that we make will end up going towards those jerseys, and that 3rd team will be able to have a little bit whatever money I make towards those jerseys, and that'll definitely help them out a bit.
Okay, last question I have for you. There is no quarterback controversy. Brian Lewerke is the man, and he's a good quarterback. We all know that.
Oh, yeah.
But last year, I heard a ton of your teammates talking about Rocky Lombardi.
Oh, yeah.
Is he the real deal? What's the story on Lombardi? Now that you're not there, you can say. And I want to say this, though, to all of our listeners. No one even thinks there's a quarterback controversy. There isn't one. We're not pretending there is. Brian is the man. But look into the future. Boy, I had so many of your defensive guys. Wow, Hondo, Lombardi's. What is it about him? And how excited are you about Lombardi one day?
I love that kid. Like, his work ethic is just unbelievable. He studies film, and he picked up our offense so fast. Like, he was out there calling plays in the 3rd day like it was nothing, getting all the signals down, and he just studied his butt off. But he's a kid that late in the season, we're playing Penn State, and Mike Gesicki, great receiving tight end, a guy that's projected first round right now, just a great tight end. We have another quarterback, and Rocky's like, all right, I'm going to play tight end this week. I don't care. He went out there and he showed out at tight end, a position that he doesn't play. And that just showed to me that, he loves this team, he loves the game of football, and he's willing to do anything and everything to help this team. And that really is what stuck out to me. Not only that, but that kid's got a cannon. Like, he can launch the ball. And it's fun to watch him out there. He's a great player, and I'm really excited for the future. I have no doubt that Brian Lewerke is going to have an unbelievable year this year. He's going to show out, but
he's got a chance to go early to the pros at the end of this year.
Yeah. If that's what it comes down to, and he wants to do that.
That'd be awesome.
But I'm looking forward to another year with my guy Brian Lewerke underneath the center.
I agree with you 100%. All right, he's the great Chris Frey. Remember, go to SpartanNation.com, get those game-worn cleats, the game-worn gloves, and a lot more. We'll be right back. And a lot more.